Hey everybody, I hope all is well. So yesterday the finale of Bel Air premiered and I'm going to miss this show. I hope it comes back sometime this year. I just feel like this show is so important and I hope that everybody who watched, I hope that it inspired you in some type of way because it definitely has inspired me, which is why I just have been wanting to talk about the show because I just feel like it's so good and I feel like it's really, from my personal standpoint, I just look at it from a deeper perspective. All in all, I feel like it ought to be clear to everybody right now that all the opportunities in the world, you should go after your dreams and ambitions. Now, we ain't got no rich Uncle Phil like Will do, but the show really shows you that it's more to life than where you come from. I feel like all the actors and actresses have done amazing, from the people on camera to the people behind the camera. Like, I hope this show goes on and on and on. Where do y'all think the show would pick up next season? Because it ended off on Will contemplating on what he wants to do next. So I'm wondering, are they going to continue like the original Fresh Prince of Bel Air storyline in some type of way? Or is it just going to be, or like is Will just going to make this decision for to really just venture out on his own? Or is he just going to go back with Uncle Phil and his aunt and eventually venture out? And I kind of wanted Will Smith to play Will's dad, but we got Marlon Wayans and he played Will's dad, Lou. But let's start with the smaller things first. So the episode started with Aunt Viv at an event of hers showcasing her art, and we had this amazing art piece of Will, and he has a crown over his head. And of course, basically, people are trying to figure out what it really meant, like Carlton. But it actually told Carlton for to protect the throne. But I personally don't feel like they love Will any more than they love Carlton. I feel like they all love him the same. Will is just a new addition, like it's something new around. Carlton, you've been around, so of course they're gonna, I guess, gravitate to him a little more because he's more vibrant and out there. But still, Carlton, he cool too, so I don't feel like it's really anything he has to worry about in that sense. But we have Hillary talking to her friend Ivy, and Jazz comes around. And when he first came, it's like Hillary looked at him like, why are you over here right now? Basically, still like, this like I might kind of feel like, are they going to introduce Trevor? Because even though she likes Jazz, it's just, she still low-key treat him like she's scared to be seen with him. Like, she feel like people probably will view her like she could do better and stuff like that. But she introduced him as Will's friend, and when she did that, it seemed like he started to push up on Ivan more. And then later on, Hillary put her stamp on it. And Will knows that they're together, even though she wants to keep it low key. But I really like them. I feel like they both bring something to each other. And even though Hillary is smarter in this one, she does seem bright. She's still kind of, in a way, she's still kind of, I don't know, maybe she don't think things thoroughly. And I say that because I just feel like she talked to Ivy about buying the house so she can get out of her contract with Kylo. But me personally, I feel like that's setting herself up for Ivy for to do her wrong. Because for one, I don't know how Ivy buying the house would buy her out of her contract with Kylo, but still, that's what the storyline is going with. So cool. But it's the fact that when she buys for a higher amount, doesn't she kind of own you in a way too? But I don't know. Maybe it'll work out fine because she's trying to be on more of a partnership thing. But we'll see. And Hillary, she's more she's more upclass and tries to do it big. And Jazz seems more humble and true to himself. So I feel like they balance each other out well. Because she tried to clown him for his 5,000 followers, but he was grateful for that. But like I said, they both bring things to each other that helps them boost. So I can appreciate them. Now when it comes to Will and Lisa, I just don't see it. I don't see the chemistry. I don't see the appeal. And I'm not talking about looks. Because I've seen a lot of people talk about Lisa's looks. I think she's a beautiful girl. But it's just the fact that I'm saying I don't see the appeal. Like, I don't see what draws them to each other. Like, I don't really feel it with them. I don't see what would make him be so in love with her all of a sudden. I just don't understand it. I feel like, to be honest, I would have rather seen Will with somebody. Like, he used the word connection in the interview. But I just don't feel a connection with them. I actually feel like maybe he should have started off being single and then he got somebody. Or they should have found somebody he had more. Well, I ain't saying don't give her the role. But I just feel like everybody's, even from the relationships, I feel something. I see something. But when it comes to them, I don't feel or see anything. They still cool and all, but I guess, I don't know. But for some reason, Lisa's still mad in this episode, and I thought the last episode that they got over it, but she's still dragging that out this episode. And Will tells her he loves her for to get him to not be mad at him and all that. I just don't. And she's telling him that he doesn't get it. I feel like, Lisa, you don't get it. This man told you that could have put his Uncle Phil's career at risk. That could have risked a lot, that information being out there. Y'all hardly even known each other that long. Yet you feel like he's supposed to tell you his whole life story. It doesn't make sense to me for her to be so mad. But I don't know. Maybe she's trying to prove to him that she'll leave at any given time. Just so he don't think that she's so into him. I don't know what. But later on in the episode, they're supposed to meet up for lunch. But I knew that he was gonna end up standing her up, and she's gonna get madder. But Carlton told her in the end that his dad was back in town, and that's what happened. And she consoled Carlton on the search for Will. How do y'all feel about Lisa? And how do y'all feel about their relationship? Viv goes and talks to Gary about wanting to work with him, and he asked her about how would her husband feel about it, but I guess we're going to be seeing them working together. He's playing it cool now, but I still feel like it could flip at any time, because y'all know the characters Michael Ealy be playing kind of sneaky and smooth. It could flip at any time, but I'm looking forward to seeing them working together. I do like him as an additional character. Of course, I hope she don't cheat on Uncle Phil, but I still also feel like she really has a big reason to, but we'll see how that plays out. And I haven't said it yet, but I really love the artist that does the art on the show. Like, every piece I really enjoy admiring and looking at. Whoever is the artist, for real, they be doing their thing on their art. Lou sneaks into the mansion and he confronts Phil about, I heard my son wanted to see me. And he got his pastor to get him a plane ticket to come out there. And it doesn't really look like he has any good motives or anything. And I still just feel like, why does it take you hearing? Apparently Jeffrey told him that his son needed him. That ain't, even if Jeffrey talked to him, I would have rather Jeffrey said your son is asking about you. For to say that he needed him, I feel like that was a big stretch. Because he wasn't in his life all them years. So what would he need him all of a sudden now for? But of course Phil doesn't want to do it. He talks it over with Viv. And they're still deciding it. But Carlton reads the information that Jeffrey gathered on Lou. And he tells Will that he showed up. And Will reads the information and finds out that he's been in prison. Will goes confront Phil and Viv, and he's not happy that with the lies by saying that he just walked out. He basically says that he didn't have a choice because he got sent out to prison. Phil felt like he was being very sympathetic towards him, but Will's stance at that moment was like, well, I got a second chance, why can't he? So Will calls up his mom and they talk over what's going on, and Will goes back in and decides that he wants to talk to Lou. And back to Hillary and Ivy real quick. I feel like Hillary gave Ivy some great tips on how to make her pictures better for her promotion, whatever she's promoting. Like, Hillary is very bright, but I still feel like she should just try her own thing more. But at the same time, you do have to make connections and stuff like that when you trying to do it big. So, like I said, we'll see how it plays out. Viv and Lou talk for a minute, and she tells him if he don't act like he's father of the year, she'll kick him out herself. Even though I appreciate all that, I still feel like dude needs to act like who he truly is. He don't need to act like anything. Act like how you truly are. So Will can see, do he want to deal with you or not. Then we have the legendary scene of Will and his father recreated. The scene was very good. Do y'all think it holds up to the old one though? I still feel like it did good in its own right. So we see them talking, and eventually talking turned into laughter and bonding for a second, but that didn't last long. But they was bonding on the fact that they remembered going to a basketball game when Will probably was 4 or 6. I think he was 4. And how he was wandering around, how they snuck in. The conversation escalated when Lou started talking about Will's mom, which is a red flag. Don't get disrespectful in here. Because still at the end of the day, she raised him all by herself. Up until she sent him out there. Well, in the previous years, I guess Lou was around, but still, for the most part, she did all that. But I guess Lou's thing is, I feel like he's mad because he said the worst mistake he ever made was dealing with Will's mom. So I feel like he's basically saying that she was the reason he got put in jail, because she started seeing that how Phil was bringing Vivian up because he started getting so much money. So he tried to get some money, but he went about it wrong. And the way he went about it got him sent to jail for 16 years or whatever. And Phil thing was that you've been in jail, you've been out of jail for 3 years, you still haven't hit him up. And Lou's stance is that he didn't want his son to see him in a cage. But still, when you got out, you didn't hit them up. You didn't hit him up. But he still was saying that he didn't want his son to see him like that. I guess he felt like it would be better if they was apart. I kind of could see his philosophy, I guess, but still, all in all, it ain't no excuse for to go that many years without talking to your son, period. Even though I said I kind of see where he coming from, still, ultimately, there's no excuse. Cause like I said, you been out 3 years and you still haven't hit Will up. And Will told him if he would have never hit you up, would he have ever heard from you? And by the look on his face, he would have never hit him up. So still, ultimately, what's your excuse for not being in his life all those years? So, of course, I'm on Will's side, of course. But, because even at first, Will was on his side. But maybe they'll bring Lou back in the future and they'll revisit that situation. Because do y'all feel like it's case closed? He told him after it escalated. I hated how he put his hands on him. I sure want Uncle Phil to punch him. Will to get his lick back. After he put his hand around his neck. Like, that was really uncalled for. But they kept warning Will that he's kind of violent. And I was hoping that Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv was going to be standing around the corner the whole time. But they went to their office. To Phil's office. Still, at the end of the day, with Lou, he's playing the blame game. He won't ultimately take responsibility. Because he tried to put it off on Will's mom. So, of course, that's going to raise even more anger and frustration. But Will did give it a shot. He talked to him. I don't really feel like Lou could really do anything lucrative to his life at this point because it's been so long. But like Will said, he always wondered about his father, so now you know that side of your life. I guess it'll be up to him whether he want him around or not. But even how the situation ended, he was like, he gonna have to face the consequences. I came all the way out here and yada yada this and yada yada that, whatever. Will told him, go lay in a ditch and curse them out. I don't blame him. Shoot, I'm not mad at him. Because still, all them years of no contact with your father, like, how was he supposed to feel? He was lashing out. He even like, now me personally, I don't feel like he had to talk to Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil that bad. Because still, ultimately, Will was looking at everything like nobody wants him. Everybody keeps pushing him to the next person. But I still feel like ultimately everybody was trying to do things in his best interest. It don't seem like he sees that now, but that's kind of how I feel. How y'all feel about it? Like, you shot a gun in the air. Gangsters was after you. So your mom sent you somewhere else. Why would she want you to stay in the city like that? Where dude's really gonna be in the hunt for you. Shoot, Ice Tray got shot. What would have happened to you? You was the one who shot the gun. And then your Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil, they providing this life for you now. And maybe they could have went ahead and told him what was going on at some point. Probably so, instead of constantly trying to cover it up. But all in all, I'm pretty sure that they'll get through their situation next season. Because all in all, they was trying to protect Will. Even when dude came, they told him how volatile he is. They still trying to protect him. So I don't know how y'all feel about it. And excuse me for rushing through it. I just don't want to make this review too long for y'all. But Carlton slides in some money. He a real one. And of course, everybody's out looking for him. Yeah, lo and behold, Will is back at the scenery. Will is back on top of that cliff or whatever, looking over the sky, looking over the city and the city lights, and looking over the city and The skies, nighttime, you see all the lights, beautiful scenery. And lo and behold, who pulls up? Jazz. In my mind, I was like, who pulling up? I said, Hillary or Jazz? And then when I see Jazz, I said, aight. But of course, because that's how the show opened up, if y'all don't remember. Because Jazz picked him up from the airport, take him to the house. They stopped and was looking over the city then, but it was daytime, but this time it's nighttime. I love how it came full circle, and Will referred back to that original conversation when Jazz was telling him, don't let this city change you. But Jazz was dropping jewels on him, saying that you got a house full of people who loves you right now. And just because of what you come from don't mean you can't change your future. And telling him you got all this opportunity around you. You don't got nobody in your ear right now. What do you want to do? I really love his character. And I was hoping Jeffrey was going to come back. But I guess it wasn't really needed. But we'll see him again next season, I'm certain. And because they was looking for him, and that situation came up about how Uncle Phil was lying about why Jeffrey wasn't really there. But Jazz, he a solid one. And next season, we gonna see what does Will ultimately want to do. I love how Jazz is so wise and comic relief still when he needs to be. Your past doesn't determine your future, and I feel like everything that happened in Will's life happened for a reason. The people that's in his life are in his life for a reason. Even besides Will, there's other characters you could learn a lot from, especially Aunt Viv with her story, dealing with her art, following her passion. Uncle Phil toned it down from working so much to getting back at what matters most, family. Carlton basically came down off of his high horse. Hillary's chasing her dreams on what she wants to do. Ashley standing up for what she believes in. Like, it's a lot that you could take from this show. If it's anything that you guys are taking from the show, please let me know down below. But that was my Bel Air review. Please let me know what you guys think about the episode. Please let me know what you guys think about the season. Who's your favorite characters? How do you feel about everything that's going on? What do you think Will do next? Ultimately, your past doesn't determine your future. And that's what I'm going to end this off on. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.